Welcome to the fourth lecture of module 5. Here we are discussing distillation operations. So, let us have a recap of our earlier lectures. In lecture 3, we discussed flash distillation, and this flash distillation is very important, particularly in petroleum refining. Important and frequently used petroleum refining, and we have also taken the example of a mixture of N-hexane and N-heptane. Today we will discuss two more topics. One is batch distillation and second is steam distillation. So, let us consider batch distillation. This is a simple distillation where a tank is charged with the feed material and which is fitted with the steam jacket, and it heated with a steam coils. What happens? The vapor flows upward, vapor flows upward, then it goes to overhead, it is then condensed, and then it is collected with a receiver. And then the remaining material which is left in the tank is known as the residue. So, the compositions which is collected in the receiver, composition changes with time. This is small xd. The compositions which is obtained at the receiver is the average compositions of all the materials collected. Average composition of all the materials collected. So, this is a batch process, and this can be switched off every time as the operation is done and the cuts are taken out. So, this batch process is inherently, this is a unsteady state process, or we can say it is a dynamic process. So, this cannot be modeled at steady state. It is a dynamic process, and this operation, it can be done with or without reflux. Two methods can be followed, with or without reflux. When we considered with reflux, then we can use the total reflux, or we can vary the reflux as well. Here we will consider now without reflux. So, this batch distillation operation, it is very common in small capacity plant, like pharmaceuticals, pharma industry, specialty chemicals or fine chemicals, and this can be also used for test runs for new products, or this can be used for the continuous process where the frequent cleaning is required. In that case, these operations can be done. The process which require frequent cleaning. Let us consider differential distillation of a binary mixture. So, we will consider the binary mixture A and B, and we will consider without reflux. When the batch distillation without reflux is operated, the process is called differential distillation. Without reflux. Since there is no reflux, the vapor which is producing from the still is assumed to be in equilibrium with the liquid which is the residue. Vapor is in equilibrium with residue. Now, let us take L is the number of moles of liquid in the still pot at any time t, and small x is the mole fraction of more volatile component say A, and D is the moles of condensate accumulated, Y star is equal to concentration of the equilibrium vapor Now, if we do the total material balance, the differential mass balance we will do differential mass balance first we will do the total material balance. Is minus dl is dd. So, this is equation 1. Now, component balance and A balance, we can write minus d of Lx would be equal to y star d d. So, from this we can write minus L dx minus x dl would be equal to y star dd. So, this is equation 2. Now, if we use equation 1 in place of equation 2, we can write minus L dx plus x dd is equal to y star dd. So, from this we can write minus L dx would be equal to y star minus x dd. This is equation 3, suppose, and if we use equation 1 in this case, so it will be minus L dx would be y star minus x into dl. So, from this we can write dl by L is equal to dx by y star minus x. So, this is equation 4. Now, if we consider F is equal to amount of feed or moles of feed, ZF concentration of feed and W is the moles of residue, and also XW is the concentration of more volatile in the residue. Then we can write from equation 4, these equations we can write integral F to W dl by L would be equal to integral ZF to XW dx divided by y star minus x. So, from this we can write ln F by W would be equal to integral XW to ZF dx by y star minus x. So, this equation is known as the Rayleigh equation. And this relates with the residue and the composition. Relation. So, ln F by W is equal to integral XW to ZF dx by y star minus x. So, in these equations, the right hand side, if we have the equilibrium data in tabular form, suppose x and y star, these data are available in tabular form. Equilibrium data, then graphical integration is possible. Graphical integration can be done. But if we have the relations between x and y, relation between x versus y star, then numerical integration is possible. Numerical integration we can do. Suppose if we take the relations y star is equal to alpha x divided by 1 plus alpha minus 1 into x. So, if we use in this Rayleigh equations, so it will be ln f by w would be equal to integral x w to zf dx divided by alpha x by 1 plus alpha minus 1 into x minus x, which we can write 1 by alpha ln zf by x w into 1 minus x w divided by 1 minus zf plus ln 1 minus x w by 1 minus zf. So, this can be written in more convenient form is ln f zf by w x w would be equal to alpha ln f by w 1 minus zf by 1 minus x w. Say this is equation 5 and this is equation 6 and this is the equation 7. Now, the average composition y d average. So, this is y d, this can be obtained average composition, that is y d average of accumulated distillate can be obtained by material balance. So, if we do the material balance, f zf is equal to T y d average plus w x w, and then we can do the overall mass balance. F is equal to d plus w. So, from this we can calculate y d average. Now, let us take an example to see how we can calculate the average concentration. A liquid mixture of 150 mole containing 40 mole percent n-hexane and 60 mole percent n-heptane, which is B, is subjected to batch distillation at a total pressure of 1 atmosphere to vaporize 1/3 of the feed. The relative volatility of N-hexane in the mixture is 2.36. Calculate the following. What is the average composition of the distillate? If the accumulated vapor is 90% N-hexane, what is the amount of distillate? So, first we will try to calculate the average compositions of the distillate. It is given the feed, which is F, is equal to 150 mole, and the composition ZF, which is 0.4, 40 mole percent N-hexane. And for problem 1, it is given that to vaporize 1/3 of the feed. So, feed is vaporized 1/3, that means 150 into 1/3. So, 50 mole is vaporized, which is D. From the total material balance, if we look, F is equal to D plus W. So, 150 is equal to 50 plus W. So, the W is 100 mole. Now, we have to calculate YD average. So, let us use Rayleigh equation, which is ln F ZF by W XW is equal to alpha ln F by W 1 minus ZF by 1 minus XW. Now, putting the values, if we put the values, ln 150 into 0.4 divided by 100 XW is equal to 2.36 ln 150 by 100 1 minus 0.4 divided by 1 minus XW. So, this we can write ln 0.6 by XW would be equal to 2.36 ln 0.9 by 1 minus XW. So, after solving, we can do trial and error method guessing XW from both sides. So, we can get XW is equal to 0.315. Now, we know that F ZF is equal to DYD average plus W XW. So, then we can use 150 into 0.4 would be equal to 50 into YD average plus 100 into 0.315. So, from this we can obtain YD average is equal to 0.57. So, this is the composition of the distillate. Now, let us do for second part. D. So, it is given YD average is equal to XD, which is 0.9, and we have to calculate what is the value of distillate, amount of distillate. We know from the total material balance, mass balance 150 is equal to D plus W. This is equation 1, and we can write the material balance, component balance. Is 150 into 0.4 would be W XW plus D into 0.9. So, from these two relation we can write W XW plus 150 minus W into 0.9, and from this we can get 60 is equal to W XW plus 150 minus 0.9 W, and from this we can write W into 0.9 minus XW is equal to 75. So, W is equal to 75 divided by 0.9 minus XW. Now, if we use this W in place of Rayleigh equation, we know ln F ZF by W XW is equal to alpha ln F by W 1 minus ZF by 1 minus XW. So, we can write ln 150 by 75 by 0.9 minus XW into 0.45 by XW is equal to 2.36 ln 150 by 75 divided by 0.9 minus XW into 1 minus 0.4 divided by 1 minus XW. So, if we simplify, this will be ln 2y 0.9 minus XW into 0.5 by XW is equal to 2.36 ln 2 by 0.9 minus XW into 0.6 divided by 1 minus XW. So, if we solve this, then we can obtain x is equal to 0.206. So, we know that W is equal to 75 divided by 0.9 minus XW. So, if we put 75 by 0.9 minus 0.206, which would be 108. So, this is this much mole of W. So, the amount of distillate D is equal to F minus W from the total mole balance. So, it is 150 minus 108. So, this is equal to 42 mole. Let us consider another type of distillation, which is steam distillation, particularly when some liquid which are very high boiling and it has some contaminant of non-volatile components which cannot be separated at normal distillation at atmospheric pressure. So, first is high boiling component, high boiling liquid. Cannot be purified normal distillation at atmospheric pressure. Because if we apply high temperature, there is a high possibility of decomposing the material at high temperature. So, when the components are high boiling, then they are in general immiscible in water. So, a separation at lower temperature can be possible by using steam distillation. So, it is a operations where live steam is used for distillation. Live steam is used with the mixture of a high boiling liquid with other components which may be traces of impurities, of non-volatile impurities or any other component which are non-volatile in nature. So, our target is to recover the high boiling components which has low volatility and low solubility in water. Suppose component A, which is high boiling, low volatility, low solubility in water, and component C, say, is non-volatile in nature. So, this is shown in the figure. As we can see, the feed is taken in a tank and live steam, if injected through the spurger, feed is taken in a still and then live steam is purged from the bottom. So, the vapor which will produce, it will carried by the steam and it is condensed. This is condenser. Vapor formed is carried along with the steam and condense at the top. Now, since A has the less miscibility with water, it will form 2 layers and one layer is water layer and target materials layer. Then it is separated. These 2 layers can be easily separated. And another thing is that the energy required to heating the feed to its bubble point. So, energy we have to supply to be supplied to heat the feed to its bubble point and to vaporize A. So, if we use only live steam, then there is a high chance of condensing the steam in the steel to heat the material. So, to avoid this, a steel coil is used to provide the energy for heating. So, steel coil is used for make of heat. Now, what is the use of this steam distillation? Importantly, this is used in food industries. For the removal of volatile materials, volatiles and flavors from edible fats and oils. Separation of thermally unstable material and third, separation of ammonia and VOX, volatile organic materials from wastewater and so on. There are so many applications. Now, let us consider if we have a two immiscible liquids A and B, which is water, and this is boiled. So, vapor will generate. So, 3 phase system. So, phases 3, component 2. So, if we apply here phase rule, we can see F is equal to C minus P plus 2. So, this will be 2 minus 3 plus 2 is equal to 1. This is the degrees of freedom. So, if the total pressure is fixed, then the system is fixed. Now, two liquid phases. Exert its own vapor pressure at the prevailing temperature. And this cannot be influenced by others. When the sum of the vapor pressures equals the total pressure, sum of vapor pressure equals total pressure, then the mixture boils. So, we can write PAV plus PBV is equal to PT. Therefore, YA should be PAV by PT. PAV and PBV are the vapor pressures of the components and PT is the total pressure. YB should be PBV by PT. So, these are the vapor compositions. Now, by steam distillation, as long as water is present, so the high boiling component A at a temperature below its boiling point will vaporize and without using the vapor pressure. This means as long as water present in the system, the high boiling component vaporizes at a temperature below its normal boiling point. The disadvantage of the method large amount of heat must be supplied to evaporate water simultaneously. With the high boiling component. Now, if we take MA moles of component A, which is high boiling to be vaporized, and MB moles of steam required, then if the system operates in equilibrium, we can write MA by MB would be equal to PAV by PBV, which is PAV by PT minus PAV. So, from this we can write MA would be MB PAV by Pt minus PAV. But if the system does not operate in equilibrium, not in equilibrium, then the partial pressure of A will be less than its vapor pressure. Partial pressure of A should be less than PAV. So, in that case, another factor which is E is known as the vaporizing efficiency is used. So, PA would be E PAV. Therefore, we can write MA would be MB E PAV divided by PT minus E PAV. Now, let us take a very simple example. A 2 kg liquid mixture of A and C, which is non-volatile, is to be steam distilled. Live steam at 110 degree centigrade is used at a flow rate of 10 kg per hour. Assume A is immiscible with water. The vaporization efficiency is 0.9. Vapor pressure of water and component A at 110 degree centigrade are 1.4 bar and 0.1 bar respectively. Molecular weight of A is 200. Calculate the distillation time required. It is given that PAV is 0.1 bar and PBV is 1.4 bar. Molecular weight of component A is 200 and MA, which is 2 by 200, is 2 kg mixture, which is equal to 1 into 10 to the power minus 2 kilomole. So, MB is MA PBV by E PAV, which is equal to 1 into 10 to the power minus 2 into 1.4 divided by 0.9 into 0.1, which is equal to 0.156 into 18, which is equal to 2.8 kg. Now, it is given that steam rate is equal to 10 kg per hour. Therefore, time required is equal to 2.8 divided by 10 hour, which is equal to 16.8 minutes. Thank you.